Welcome to my presentation about analysis of automation tests results. At the beginning, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Maros Kutschy, and I work as technical lead QA at NES, and my mission is automation testing. I'm located in Košice, Slovakia. And you can see here my LinkedIn profile, and I am the creator of JASECO automation testing framework. I will use also in my presentation this framework for demo purposes. At the beginning, I would like to start with two quotes. The first one is from Winston Churchill. And Winston Churchill said that success is the ability to go from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. And I think this quote is related to life in general, but also we can apply it to testing or to automation testing. And there are some opinions that the builds, Jenkins builds, should be always the green and that there should be no failures. But I think that it's good if we have the failures, because if we have the failures, it means that we have good coverage, that we have tests which are testing various parts of the application, and that if any change appears in the application, we can catch it, and we can find out some problems in the application or in the tests or in the environment. So failures are not bad, but they are good, and we should be happy that we have them because we are catching some problems. Another quote is from Thomas Alva Edison, and he said that I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that will not work. And again, I think we can apply this to not like standard life, but also to testing and automation testing, because we are living in agile environment, Scrum, the 2-week sprints, and I think it's important that during each sprint, at least for 1 or couple of hours, we spend some time with learning new things, trying new tools, which are many on the market, open source tools mostly, and we can try if we can find something which is suitable for our team. And even if we find out that this tool is not suitable for our team, I think it's not a failure, but it's useful information, and we can try something else, and we know, okay, this is not the way, but let's go another way, let's try another tool, and at the end of the day, we'll try something which is good for us, which can increase efficiency of our team and productivity. Let's look at the agenda of my presentation. I will try to answer at the beginning on the questions. The first question is why analysis of automation test results is important. And another question will be why we should analyze the results each day. Then I will focus on the output of this analysis, and I will speak about the tools which can help us with it, and I will focus on tool report portal. I will say what is this and what are the benefits of report portal. Then there will be demo, pre-recorded demo of use case of report portal, and then I will do a live demo of some report portal features and how we can work with it. And yes, after the presentation, there can be some discussion about the questions. Let's start. The first question is why analysis of automation test results is important. Because for some testers or for someone, this maybe isn't so obvious why we should do it. And I think that we could have thousands of tests which are running each night on Jenkins, but if we don't look at the results, it is like we don't have any tests. There is no value to have the tests and not look at the results. Have the failures on Jenkins, nobody is looking at it, we don't know what's happening there. There is no value. So if we should, if I should choose, if I have like thousands of tests, but I am not looking at them, or if I have a couple of tests, like 10, but I have time to look at them, I will choose this second option, because at least have something which has value, like something which has no value. Another idea is that, or the answer on the question why analysis of automation test results is important is about information which we can get from the results, and we can have information about the state of application, state of testing environment, and obviously the state of our test framework. Because if we have the green build, then and we have confidence that we have good coverage, so it means okay, this is ideal situation, everything is okay. But in most cases, we will still have some failures. But at least we will, if we are looking at the results, somebody will ask us, okay, there will be a release tomorrow. We have automation tests, so please tell me, what is the state? Can we do the release? Are there any problems? And if we are looking at the results, we can say, okay, we have some failures, we have some open bugs, which needs to be fixed. We still have some automation tests, which we need to update. And according to this information, we can decide if, okay, is it correct time for the release, or do we postpone, or something else? So these were two answers of this first question. And now let's look at the second question. And it is why we should analyze the results each day. As we have a habit, like when we come to the office, or if we are working from home, we come to the room from which we are working, we turn on the computer and we look at the emails, we look at the Slack messages, and we could add another habit also each morning before starting to working on some tasks, look at the automation results and do it as the first thing in the morning. And if it is possible to fix the problems which you found immediately, it would be great. If not, create some Jira tickets. But do it in the morning, because I think once we start working on our task, there will be no time coming back to the results. And once we are doing this analysis, we should assign the status for each failure, or have status for each failure. So we should know why it is failing and what actions should be done in order it's not failing next day. And we should share it with the team We could have like a feature team, so which are working on some application or some microservice. Okay, we share it within the team, but we can have each more teams in our big team, and each is working on some microservice, but they have some common platform, and everybody is contributing to this platform. And if there are any failures in the platform, you should share it also with other teams in order they know that also they could have problems in automation tests of their microservice because it's dependent on the platform, and these failures can be same between the teams. And now, if you know where is the problem, what should be done, so we should come to the do the action. So try to fix it. If it is easy, quick fix, you can do it immediately and solve the problem. But sometimes it could be complicated. It will need some more testing. So, and we don't have like time to do it now because we have some urgent tasks in our sprint. So then at least we should create a ticket either for fixing application, environment, or the test, and put it to the sprint, have it some high priority, do not postpone it to other sprints, or I don't know, I will do it in 1 month. No, try to do it as soon as possible, have a ticket and focus on it in next days. So these were 2 questions which I tried to answer. And now let's look, once we are doing analysis, what should be the outcome or the output of the analysis, or what should be the goal? There are 2 parts. Like first is assign a status for each failure. Know why this test is failing, and then know about what action should be done in order it's not failing anymore in next runs. And we can have various options or the reasons. First is that there is problem in the, not problem, but the reason is the application, and there is a bug in the application. So there was some change in the application and it is a bug, it's not expected. So then we should fix the application. Another option can be that again, the reason is the change in the application, but now it's not a bug, but it's improvement, but it was forgotten to fix the test along with the change in the application. So in that case, we need to fix not application, but fix the tests. Or another option is that there is a problem not in the application, or the change was not in the application, but in the test. For example, we have done some, we have a big framework with a lot of code, and we have done some refactor of the code in the framework to address some issues, but we have fixed something, but we have corrupted something else. So we have a problem in our test code, and we should fix the test. Also, there can be problem that some tests are not stable, they were not correctly designed, and in some situations they are passing, in some not. So again, problem in the test code, fix the tests. There could be also another option that there is no problem in the application, there is no problem in the test, but the problem is in test data. And in this case, we should fix the data, okay? Because maybe we have some tests which are dependent on the data, for example, in the database, and if they are corrupted, our test will not work. So we should fix them as soon as possible. Another case is that there is problem in the environment. And this means that we have Jenkins master, Jenkins nodes. So there can be problem with communication, for example, between Jenkins nodes and the master, or there was some, if we have Windows nodes, there could be some update of operating system and nodes went down, so we need to start them. Or there is problem on the application server, that the server of some microservice can be down, these are not working. Or communication between components, for example, or we can have problem with some, if we are using, for example, some queues that they are full and data are not processing, so we need to clear it, restart or something like this. But we should fix the environment. And the last option which I have here is random failure. And this is most tricky because we need to observe it. That, the root cause can be, again, that during the night it was failing, now it's passing. So there can be some temporary connection problem which is now fixed. Or there can be some problem with a deployment, that there was some deploy of the application during the night, and during this time period of deployment, tests were failing. But the reason can be also the other, not so clear. In that case, we should just observe the behavior. So one day it's passing, second day is failing, and try to find some patterns, and according to it, decide what could be done, if we should fix the test to not be so stable, or anything else. Now imagine that we could have like imaginary tool which will help us with analysis. So I try to answer if I can create, or if I can just wish some tool which will help me with analysis, what this tool could do. So first thing which I was imagining was that this tool could look at all the historical results from previous runs where I have done the analysis, and then according to these historical results, it could decide if the failures in actual build are old or new. Yes, if they are new, the tool basically cannot do anything, because a human person needs to come and decide where is the problem. But for the old failures, it can, according to the historical data, assign the correct status from the history. So if it's product bug, application bug, or the test bug, so automation bug or environment bug. And then also, if we in the past assigned some Jira tickets, it could assign, use this information also for the new failure. So I was imagining that could help. And I was trying to search if something like this exists on the market, and I found ReportPortal. What is ReportPortal? According to the creators and the definition on their webpage, it's artificial intelligence powered test automation dashboard, which aggregates some data and analyze test reports. And we should have information about the health of this application which we are testing. So you can see some screenshot here. Basically, ReportPortal is doing exactly this, that first time we manually assign some status to the failure, and then in all the next runs, ReportPortal is using this information and automatically assigning the status for each failure which we have. And what are the benefits of ReportPortal? So first is that it's free, open source tool. You don't pay for using it. I think you can, or you can pay if you need some support during installation or using, or for example, If you have some special in-house automation tool developed in your company and you need integration to ReportPortal, they can do it for you and you will pay. But if you are using standard automation tools like Selenium, Cucumber, TestNG, JUnit, and so on, it's already done, this integration. And this integration, we will see in the demo, is very easy. So if you want to start using it, it shouldn't be a big problem. In a couple of hours, you should have this integration completed. And it's doing automatic analysis of the failures, and it is using artificial intelligence, machine learning. So this is what we want. And also, if there are new failures and they are not in the historical data of this tool, we can do manual analysis in real time on one place. And for example, if more people are working on analysis, you can very easily see it in real time in ReportPortal that, for example, you have 20 failures and a couple of testers are working on it. So you change the status of the failure which you are looking at, and for example, to in progress, and everybody knows that you are looking at it, they should do something else. Once you assign some status to the failure, and if somebody else somewhere else in some runs see the same failure, they can see that you already assigned this type of failure to some Jira ticket. Okay, so we can now look at the demo. So I have recorded it, some use case. So this is Java Selenium Cucumber framework, JavaScript framework, and I am using for API testing Karate framework. So it's Maven project. So here are dependency of Karate, and also if you want to integrate ReportPortal, you just add some dependencies, ReportPortal dependencies into your project in order you can use the libraries. Then what is there? There is test runner, and there are feature files. So I'm using this Karate framework, which is using feature files, and here I'm testing some endpoints. So we can see the link to the application, and then we are calling some endpoint, get users, and then we are asserting the status code, and also we are looking at the response and searching for some keys and values. So same, so you can see in the postman, this is the endpoint and this is the response. And we are looking at these values, which we want to verify for a couple of users if the values are correct. So we will check the username and we will check the city. Okay, so exactly you can see from response we are looking at the first username and address city, then for the second user, and for another, so 4 users altogether. And for this Karate framework, you don't need to write any Java code. You just write this Gherkin syntax, and everything is already prepared. One thing, you need to have this runner where you specify where is the feature file. And yes, ReportPortal properties file, where are the links to your ReportPortal. So I will run it now. And it's very quick because it's just API test. So we can see that test 4 tests or scenarios were running or passed. And if you are using Karate framework, there is nice report out of the box. So you just open this in the target folder. You can find the HTML file with the results. If you open it in Chrome, you can see this nice report, and you see, for example, this get method and what was the response. And here you can see that everything was okay for all 4 scenarios. Let's look in ReportPortal. So this is the UI of ReportPortal. You can see that we have the results also here. For now, all 4 scenarios are passing. You can see the details in ReportPortal. And also a nice report here. Again, we can see the request and we can see the response. And for all 4 scenarios. So it's working now. So now let's try to break something in order we have some failures. And we can, in order we can see how we could do analysis in ReportPortal. So let's break each scenario. So first one, so we will just adjust the expected value. And we know it's not correct, therefore it should fail. So we'll break scenario number 1, 2, 3 and run it again. Now we are running the scenarios, and we should see that now we have in the report again 4 scenarios, but only 1 passed and 3 of them failed. And if we refresh the report, local report, yes, exactly, you can see that it is failing because expected value is this corrupted and actual value is correct, so therefore it's failing. As expected, we have failures in our automation tests. This is what we wanted because we want to see the failures in the ReportPortal and do the analysis. So if we go back to launches, we can see the new launch, and again, as expected, 3 failures and no history of them. So therefore they have status to investigate, and our goal is to move them to correct categories and subcategories. So we can see the stack trace here of this failure. It was failing. And yes, exactly. We see the expected and actual value. So now we need to decide where is the problem. So we will say that it's product bug. Okay. So you can see that now we have just 2 failures to investigate. One is already up in the product bug category. So let's go to second failure, and just for this demo purposes, again, let's assign it to some different category. For example, we will say this automation bug. Okay, apply. Just 1 more remaining for investigation, and let's say that this is system issue. Okay, apply. So now no more for investigation, and here you can see that we have 1 product bug, 1 auto bug, and 1 system issue. So we have done 100% of analysis. And now let's go back to IDEA IntelliJ and run the same test. No change in test code, no change in application code. So the results should be the same. Okay, let's look at the console output. And we can see that there are, let's refresh, same results. So 3 failed, 1 passed. And yes, in the ReportPortal we see 3 to investigate. That's because we don't have turned on auto analysis. So we will do it now manually, run this auto analysis. So we can choose if the results, historical results in all launches or in actual should be done, and which category should be investigated, like to investigate. Okay, we see this label auto analysis. So ReportPortal is doing the work, and once it is done, we should see, like now we can see that these failures were categorized, and we can see this AA label with 2 arrows. It means that it was done by auto analysis. And still we can look here and we can see, okay, so ReportPortal found 98% probability that it's the same reason. So therefore it automatically assigned same status as we have done manually before. And we can basically check all of these failures which were automatically assigned or analyzed. And again, we can see some information here, some stack traces and the reason why it was assigned with this status. And let's look at the last one. Last one is, yes, the system issue. So from this, we can see that it was done correctly. So let's stop the video, and now let's go to live demo. So I will show you also how it can be run from Jenkins. So this is Jenkins master running on my computer, and this Windows node is also running on my computer. Okay, and I have the job, which is basically, if we look at the configuration, it's just looking at the repository, the branch, and very easy one Maven command, and we are archiving the artifacts. Okay, so I will run it now. You can look at the console output. It's running now. Okay, I have also the ReportPortal running also on my computer. So we can see that for now, 1 hour ago, I have run the test, but once this build will start, okay, so now it's running already. Okay, so we can see that the build is coming. And what's interesting is that we should see also the temporary results here during the build is running. Okay, you can see that already 5 tests running, 5 failed. So these 3 dots means that the build is running now, and we see the results not after the finish of the build, but on Jenkins we can see it at the end. But in ReportPortal we see like temporary results. If we refresh, we have seen the 5 failures, and now there should be more. Okay, we see 95. So they are like, okay, now it's finished. You see this refresh button. The build is finished in Jenkins, yes, and also in ReportPortal. We have the results. If you look at the build, and we have archived the artifacts, and we can see the summary report directly on Jenkins. So we see some failures, okay? This example where we have many failures in many tests, and we can see it on Jenkins in Karate report, but also in ReportPortal. If we open these failures, we can see them also here. So this is example how we can run from Jenkins the job, and we can get results in ReportPortal. So let's look at ReportPortal settings. There are some integrations. For example, we can do our email integration with our email server in our company. In order, we can invite the people. So we can have a user for each person, and for this we invite users, but we need to have first this email integration in order we can see it there. Yes, so I'm just super admin user. Then there is also integration for Jira. I don't have installed it, but it's available. And if you have Jira integration, you can directly from ReportPortal create Jira tickets, and from the launch, from the failure, and in Jira it will be automatically there will be automatic link for the failure in ReportPortal. And also, if you create a ticket for some failure in ReportPortal, you can see the actual status of this Jira ticket. Yes, you can send notification via email. Defect types, so there are predefined like categories like product bug, automation bug, system issue, but you can create subcategories for each of them according to your need. Also, here are the settings for the auto analysis. So you can turn on auto analysis. It means if new results come to ReportPortal, they're automatically analyzed. You don't need to run manually like in our demo. And yes, you can choose which launches should be checked for the same failures. And this is also important, like ReportPortal in the background, what it is doing. So it is looking at the actual failure and the stack trace and comparing with the stack trace or log lines in the history. And you can choose how many lines it should take into consideration. Because for example, if you have two here and you have two failures, which have first two lines are same, but difference is on, I don't know, row number 5 or 6. But ReportPortal will consider them as same, so it could be not very precise. So you can increase it to higher number. Also, here you can say if it is comparing the number of log lines, and if it finds similar words, some percentage of similar words, you can set here or define here what percentage is considered that from this percentage is the same failure. So you can increase it also to be more precise, again, according to needs of your tests. Yes, there can be some email notifications, we see auto analysis, and you can also have some demo data if you don't have integration in your framework. And what's interesting is also the filters. So you can create filter. For example, I will try to filter all the karate launches. So I can save the filter. I will name it karate 2. You can choose if it's shared with other users. Okay. So if you go to filters, yes, karate 2 is here. And now if you have the filter, you can go to dashboard and you can create new dashboard. So I create a new dashboard and you can add widgets. So there are many predefined widgets by creators of ReportPortal, for example. So this can be used, for example, by test managers if they want to see some statistics in very nice graphs about the automation tests. So for example, launches table, next step, you choose the filter, for example, this one, next step, okay, some name, add, and you can see that, for example, here on one place, you can see all the historical results along with some another interesting widgets like investigated percentage of launches. Again, I will choose the filter. Okay, some name. So here you can see that how many failures were investigated. So here 100% are investigated to investigate. So no investigation was done. Okay. And let's add one more filter, for example, launch, execution and issue statistics. Again, I will choose same filter. Okay, you can move it as you wish. So for example, here you can see how many failures are there, how many are investigated, are related to some failures. Okay, so you can see to investigate, and you can add so many filters. So if you look at the dashboard, you can have a dashboard for various purposes. You just click here and you can see some statistics. It's loading because yes, the report portal is running on my computer, and you can see it's using a lot of memory because I have just 16 GB of RAM. So it's when using in a real project, I think it's good to have it on a strong server. Okay, so we have seen what we can do with report portal and how we can filter the launches, how can we create the dashboards or some settings there. And we are very close to the end of my presentation. Basically, there was a demo. Yes, there can be some questions. Just the key takes away at the beginning, at the end. So as we can see, analysis of result is very important, and sometimes if you don't have like some good tool, it can be very challenging to have a good overview of the failures, how to report them, where to store the results or the information about the historical failures and use them in next analysis. And there are some tools that can help us, and report portal I think is a very good option for now because it is helping. It can help us a lot with storing these historical results and can increase our performance of doing analysis. So that's all for me. Thank you very much for attention, and as we can continue with Q&A. So thank you one more time. Bye for now.